it's Miss Angela, and I am back with another video. I apologize that I was unable to go live with you guys. I really wanted to go live with you guys, and YouTube just wouldn't let me be great today. So I just decided to just make another video for you guys. So I guess you're wondering why I have my jacket. Angela's Science Lab Corner. And you know, I can never do a live without my special guest. And here he is, Mickey. He too is wearing a lab jacket. His is just, you know, this awesome design. So today I am going to read to you a story. And then after our story, we're going to do a cool science experiment. Are you guys ready? Because I know I am. After all of the hiccups, I'm ready to get started. So let's get into this story. Ada Twist Scientist. This is the name of the book that I'll be reading to you guys today. Let me pull my goggles up until we get ready for our experiment. Ada Marie said not a word till the day she turned 3. She bounced in her crib and looked all around, observing her big break with a trail of chaos left in her wake. She ran through the day, chasing each sound and sight, and didn't slow down till she conked out at night. So this is Ada up there on the dresser. This is all of the chaos that she has to deal with or that she made at home. Parents were frazzled but tried not to freak as Ada grew bigger and still did not speak. Clearly, young Ada all out there, or does anyone out there know? Was. I think my first word may have been daddy, dad, because I am a daddy's girl. So that probably was my first word. That's just what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree and climbed up the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled, "Stop!" as good parents would. Ada's chin quivered, but she didn't cry. She took a deep breath and simply asked, "Why?" So that's her parents telling her to stop because she's climbing up that big grandfather clock. Did anybody notice anything about this story so far? You're right. It's a rhyming story. Everything is rhyming. Good job, guys. Why does it tick and why does it talk? Why don't we call it a granddaughter clock? Why are there pointy things stuck to a rose? Why are there hairs inside of your nose? She started with why and then what, how, and when. By bedtime, she came back to say, why once again? She drifted to sleep as her dazed parents smiled at the curious thoughts of their curious child, who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, "You'll figure it out." So this is Ada. She's asking all of these questions. Why? What? How? Why do you have hair inside of your nose? Her parents kept up with their high-flying child, whose questions and chaos both grew as she did. So she's still asking what, where, why, how. She's asking about the planets. Why are any chickens in these eggs that she cracked on the floor and there's yolk on there? Can you guys see that? All kids are curious at a young age. I'm quite sure some of you guys were too. Even Miss Greer felt her hands were quite full when young Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. But this much was clear about Miss Ada Twist. She had all the traits of a great scientist. Hence the goggles and the jacket. See? And she has on her goggles and her gloves, and she made exploding water bottles. Have any of you guys done this activity either at school or in your after school programs or at home? You have? Good job. I would like to see some of those experiments. Maybe you could share out. Ada was busy that first day of spring, testing the sounds that made mockingbirds sing, when a horrible stitch whacked her right in the nose, a pungent aroma that curled up her toes. Zowie, said Ada, which got her to thinking, what is the source of that terrible stinking? How does a nose know there's something to smell? And does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped on her chin. She started at the start where she ought to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest. This was the moment that Ada loved best. So she smells that stinky smell and she's trying to figure out what can she do. What can she do? Ada did research to learn all she could of smelling and smells, both the stinky and good. One hypothesis Ada thought could be true. The terrible stink came from Dad's cabbage stew. Ooh wee. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with hypothesis 2. So what was her first hypothesis? Right. The stinky cabbage smell from her daddy's stew. So she has to come up with another hypothesis that would equal number 2. Then zowie! The stink struck again, just like that. Hypothesis 2, it's caused by the cat. The cat couldn't make such a stink on its own. He needed perfume and some fancy cologne. So young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents yelled, "Stop!" So this is Ada. She made a little mess and figured the smell was coming from her cat. But then look, she wants to wash her cat and put him in the washing machine. So her parents yelled, "Stop! You can't put a kitty cat in the washing machine. Silly Ada." Ada Marie, to the thinking chair now. By the time we count 3. Enough, said her mother. That's it, said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. Why? Ada questioned. Her mother said, "No." What? Ada queried. Her father said, "Go. You've ruined our supper. You've made the cat stink. Enough with your questions. Now sit there and think." She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know what to do. Her parents are yelling at her. And what emotion is Ada feeling? Sad, right? Yeah, I would be sad too if my parents were yelling at me and I'm just trying to figure out the world. Do you guys, parents, get mad at you when you do things that you shouldn't do, but you're trying to figure out and think about things? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be curious, but just don't make a mess when you're being curious. She sat all alone by herself in the hall, and Ada once more could say nothing at all. So she's sitting out in her thinking chair all by herself. So now she's going to stop talking again. So let's see by her sitting in this chair if she's going to talk again after she can get up. And so Ada sat and she sat and she sat and she thought about science and Stu and the cat and how her experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that a part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of the terrible thinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do. She asked a small question and then she asked two. And each of those led to her to 3 questions more. And some of those questions resulted in 4. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped her chin. She started to at why and then what, how, and when. At the end of the hall, she reached why once again. So she started drawing on her parents' wall in the hall to figure out why, what, who, and when. Do you think she's going to get in trouble for drawing on the wall? I think she might get in trouble for drawing on the wall. Don't do what Ada does. Don't draw on the wall. We don't want you guys to get in trouble. Her parents calmed down and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and just had to gawk. No patch of bare paint could be seen on the wall. The thinking chair now was the great thinking hall. They watched their young daughter and sighed as they did. What would they do with this curious kid who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, "We'll figure it out." So they didn't get upset with Ada because they were very curious. Because she was very curious. So they wanted her to get it all out. So now instead of this being her thinking chair, this is now her thinking wall because she's putting all her thoughts on that wall. You guys can do thinking walls too, but do not write on your walls at home. Use some paper or get a book and make a thinking book. That would be a really cool idea. I think you should do that. Don't write on the walls. No, 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 no. Miss Angela doesn't want you to get in trouble. And that's what they did, because that's what you do when your kid has a passion and heart that is true. They remade their world. Now they're all in the act of helping young Ada sort fiction from fact. She asks lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart of a young scientist. So her parents are trying to help her. So they're thinking and they're sitting in the thinking chair and getting books. Her little brother or older brother is helping her and she's still up there thinking and writing. And as for that smell, what can Ada Twist do but learn all she can with her friends in grade 2? Will they discover the stink that curls toes? Well, that is the question. And someday, who knows? Look at that. So we're going to call this the stinkometer because she's using it. All of her classmates in her class put stuff in a jar that's covered up so they can help her figure out where the stink is coming from or where the smelly, bad, yucky smells come from. The in. So if you like this book, again, it's called Ada Twist Scientists. So we are young scientists at heart. Miss Angela is a scientist. Well, at least I try to be. I like to do different experiments. Do you guys like to do different experiments too? You do? Good job, because guess what? I have an experiment just for you. So I'm going to put this towel down so I don't make a mess. And then I'm going to pull the camera down so you guys can see what we're going to do. But first, I'm going to tell you what materials you are going to need for this activity. So first, you're going to need a paper plate, or you can use a regular plate. You're also going to need a cup of water. It doesn't have to be a full cup, but a cup of water. Can you guess what else? Candy. Who doesn't love candy? So these are M&Ms. I have 2 packs, but because I don't know if I'm going to have enough. So I have 2 packs of M&Ms. Now, this is called an M&M experiment. Now, with this experiment, I've done this before with some of my other after school kids, but I've never used the peanut M&Ms. We've always used the regular chocolate M&Ms. So we're going to see how this goes. All right, so we're going to open up our M&Ms. And let's just taste one for good measure, just to make sure they're good. Yummy. So you're not going to see me. Well, this might not work. All right. So I'm going to have to put the plate down here. So hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. All right. So again, like I said, let's put it up here. This might not work due to these being peanut M&Ms. But basically, what you want to do is you want to line up the M&Ms in a circle. So we are going to have to open up that second bag, that second pack of M&Ms, because we don't have enough. So we're going to put the M&Ms in a circle around the plate. Let's try to get some different colors. But it seems like I got a bag of blues and yellows and greens, but mainly blues. That's not cool. All right, let's try to mix it up around here. All right. So I'm going to put the plate down so you can see. Do you guys see that? So all of my M&Ms are in a circle. So you're going to put them in a circle around the plate. All right. Then, one of them's trying to get away. You're going to take your cup of water. Everybody see the water? You're going to take your cup of water. And then you're going to pour it in your plate. So I'm going to hold the plate, but you don't hold the plate. You keep your plate on the table. I'm holding it so you guys can see. I'm hoping that this works, but I'm going to put the plate down because now it's getting kind of heavy. So you want to try to cover up the bottom of your plate with as much water as you can. OMG. Will you guys look at that? Can you see what is going on? Do you guys see that? This is so cool. What are we making? Yes, you guessed it. It's a rainbow. A M&M rainbow. Isn't that cool, guys? It's so pretty. So, yes, so the water. Now I'm going to bring the camera back up so you can see me. So the water from that you poured into your plate is making all of the colors run together. So it's like a color run. So it turns out to be a rainbow. So that's one cool science experiment that you could do at home with adult supervision. Always make sure that when you are becoming a scientist, and I didn't put my glasses down, when you are becoming a scientist and you're doing activities at home, always have adult supervision. You never want to do any activity without adult supervision. Always be sure to wear your protective goggles. Always have on your lab coat. And if I had gloves, I would have gloves on my hand, but I don't have any gloves. So I hope that you enjoyed today's story about Ada Twist, the scientist, and I hope you enjoyed today's activity. You may see me around again. Who knows? You may see my favorite bud in my next video. Who knows? You have to be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube page, YouthCOR. That's 2 words, YouthCOR. Subscribe and like our YouTube page. Check out all of the videos that our staff have put on there. I have another video up there that you could check out, but all of our staff are posting videos for your enjoyment with different activities for you guys to watch. So me and Mickey are signing off. See you guys later. And again, we miss you all and we can't wait to see all of your smiling faces again very, very soon. Very soon. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.